Hello Libra, this is Julie with Into Heartspace, and we're looking at the energy surrounding you for August of 2017. If you would like a personal reading, find me on Facebook, email me, or go to my website. Alright Libra, let's call in the highest of light, the highest of energy to guide us on this reading. Calling in the divine. What messages do you have for Libra, for August of 2017? What are the messages? Okay. Okay. And the energy that's coming in from July into August is the Seven of Swords reversed. The Seven of Swords has been popping up for almost every sign in some regard. So the Seven of Swords for you in July is I actually feel like you were cheated or something happened where you felt like you lost out, but not to the level you thought. Okay, so you might have felt like betrayed, angry that somebody said something to you or didn't say something to you and said something behind your back, or that you just felt angry and saddened by you felt slighted by somebody. But it's actually not as bad as you thought it was, so that's good. And okay, then we have illusion. Okay, the Empress, Eight of Wands, and transformation. Whew, powerful relationship August for you, Libra, very powerful. Five of Cups, the Guide, and the Three of Swords reversed. Okay, this is just like interesting. All right, Three of Cups, the Moon, Eight of Cups, Nine of Discs reversed, King of Discs reversed, and the Emperor reversed. Okay. Well, I'm going to sit back for a minute and just take this all in. All right, illusion in the center. So that's the devil also, okay? You're, in a way, you're obsessing about this person who slighted you, this person who hurt you, who did something wrong to you, and you're blowing it completely out of proportion, and you're letting it kind of ruin your month in a way, because you're just obsessing about it, and obsessing about the pain that they caused, but the pain that was caused from it was not necessarily what they did. It's you mulling it over again and again in your head. So just know that the situation that happened, yes, it was not the best. It did probably hurt. But it's not as bad as you think it is. And you can let go of it. Now, in relationship up here, this is just, we have the Empress. And then we have the Eight of Wands and transformation. All right, this is a very fated month for you when it comes to relationship. And you're going to have to make a lot of decisions, really difficult decisions that are going to completely shift relationships in your life. A couple words of warning is if you are in a rocky relationship right now and you are ho-hum about who you're with, you have to be very careful if you are intimate, because you could absolutely have a child very easily. And if you don't want that to happen, then be very, very careful. And I get a sense from a lot of situations that people will be having kids or will get pregnant, and it will be not the right time in their eyes, with not the right person. And you're going to have to make some really difficult decisions about it. All right? And it will shift who you are no matter what happens. You know, there's no turning back with that, no matter where you go with it. So that's just a word of warning that it could be very dicey for those who do not want children. Now, those who do want children, then I really feel like, yeah, you definitely can have, it's a time for you, a very fertile time. And even though we have transformation here, which is the death card, I don't see it as a death, but I see it as like a death of you or somebody that you love, but more of a death of who you are now and you growing into a new person. So still, there's a lot of fertility happening. You might also, Libra, you might hear of a friend who's going through this. And so you have to transform yourself in a way to help them out. That, you know, they got pregnant out of wedlock, or, you know, not even out of wedlock. That doesn't really mean anything to me, whether you have a child, if you're married or not. That's obsolete in my eyes. But you're having a child with somebody who you don't want to share a future with. That shifts the energy very much so. But that's really one of the prominent things of these three cards is fertility and big shift happening. Now, if you're not seeing anyone and you don't have that option of a child, you're gonna shift who you are in your life when it comes to relationship, Libra. Like, this is like I said, it's a very fertile time. So you could really call in a lot of different people who will help you transform. And this doesn't mean just romantically, although there's definitely a sensual side to the Empress. I mean, ruled by Venus, how could it not be? But you could be calling in different people to help find that sensual side and just shifting your perspective and who you are once again. You know, this is just a big, big shift happening this month. And here's the thing, Libra, just so you know, in August, these changes that are going to happen. It's what you're going to do with them. So just be ready in August. You're going to get a huge surprise sometime in August. I can hear it now from many of my Libra friends. I'm like, oh man, be careful. I might have to call a couple of them and say, hey, be careful. But also, how exciting, because these shifts are not bad. It's just you're changing into a different person. And so what are you going to do with that? And who are you going to shift to? And how are you going to manifest that? Now, with illusion in the center of this deck, it makes me a little anxious about some of the changes that will be happening. Just because of the obsession part of it. So make sure that if something does happen and something does change, that you don't go to your vices and go to the things where you can zone out too much. Of course, you know, we all need to go there from time to time, but don't stay there. Go there and then bounce back. All right. And now in career, we have the 5 of Cups. We have the Guide. And the 3 of Swords reversed. Some of you guys have been looking for a new job and you don't feel settled in the position you are right now. And it's going to be a tough month for new jobs too. Like, it's just, you know, you might not get as many callbacks as you want. But the reason why is because you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with what you actually want to do and where you want to go. So all of these options that you have taken upon yourself are not really speaking to your soul calling. And so with the Guide, I want you to really shine a light on who you are and what you want to be and where you want to be. Because I think you're going about it in a way of, well, if I apply to this job, I'll make more money and that will make me happy. And that's fine. That's fine. But you have to also look at different aspects, because Spirit is really saying, yes, we want you to make more money. Yes, we want you to have that office in the corner, but you also have to do X, Y, and Z, which is take care of the people around you and not cheat yourself and the people around you as well with your gifts and your love and your heart. And the reason why I say this is the Three of Swords reversed. You know, it's like I feel like you're using career, you're using you're using career, you're using your job to heal a wound in a relationship from the past. And so you're hunkering down and you're like, I'm just going to make lots of money. I'm going to be really successful. I don't care how I get there. I don't care what I do. I'm just going to get there. But it's not feeding your soul. It's not feeding your spirit. It's not feeding who you are. So that is the issue with this whole situation right here, is that you're trying to heal yourself, but by healing yourself, you're making a bigger wound because you're denying the truth of the matter. You're denying who you are just for, a superficial gain. And if you're kind of going along it in a way of, well, I'm going to go for the superficial gain first, and then I'll worry about that later, the universe has a different plan for you, okay? So if you're not getting the callbacks, if you're not getting what you want, you're not getting, the situations you've put out and have been trying to manifest, ask yourself not only why, but is it what I really want? Does it resonate with who I truly am? Because I have a feeling that if you ask why am I not getting it? Is it what I really want? And does it resonate? 2 out of the 3 will be, you need to shift. You need to change. All right, so then in abundance, this is a really great month to call on friends and go out with friends and ask for the support of your community. Okay, we have the 3 of Cups. We have the Moon upright. And then we have the 8 of Cups, not reversed, it's upright as well. This is a good time to call on community and to help them. They will help you get through some of this murk that's happening in relationship and career. And they're going to help you kind of walk away from the situations that you don't need anymore. Now, with going to your friends, having fun with your friends, going out with your friends, make sure that you're going to have tea. Go and dance. Go and do something that is going to raise your vibration instead of bring it down. All right, so that is, if you do that with going on a hike, like today I went to a lake with my son and one of my dear friends, and she was telling me about how in Japan they like to do what's called a forest bath, and it takes you just spend 3 hours in nature and it just bathes over your energy and who you are. And I was like, that's a great thing. Just go on a forest bath, Libra. Just go and sit in nature and just spend time there and let it bathe over you. It was so lovely and so needed, and it was so grounding. So in these situations, I feel like you might be losing some of your grounding, and it's time to actually go get a bath. Go get a forest bath. And then finally, in the mind-body-soul connection, we have the 9 of Discs reversed and the King of Discs reversed. And this is the first actual person who's showing up here, is that King of Discs reversed and the Emperor reversed. And the Emperor can be a person too, and the Empress as well. But being that they're major arcana, I really feel like oftentimes they encompass so many different people, and they encompass the energy that is surrounding you. So with the 9 of Discs reversed, you're just not feeling creative. You're not feeling yourself. And that's where you are. So I really feel like with this break with relationship, the shift with relationship, you're going to feel more, like I said, more fertile, but also more creative. And this is definitely linked to an earth sign, so a Virgo, a Taurus, a Capricorn energy. It's time to just, I'm sorry, but whoever this person is, think think of somebody who is materialistic, who likes to wear labels, who only wants to eat the finest of foods at the finest of restaurants only, that cannot find appreciation in like a simple home cooked meal in a way, or somebody who only wants status, okay? Think of somebody who's looking for status, who wants to be sitting like on a throne of coins made of gold. You know, they think that would be awesome. And, you know, that's what they're going for in their life, is to build that status, be a status symbol. Yeah, you don't really need to associate with them right now, Libra. You don't. You don't need to be making sure that you are wearing Gucci and Louis Vuitton all the time, because there's some other really beautiful things that you need to be captivated by and grow. But this person is kind of taking away your perspective on what is important in your life. And trust me, I love Gucci and I love Prada too. I do. I admit it. I used to have a Prada wallet. I loved it so much. But you're losing perspective over what is important, okay? And so it's time to split from this person for a time and get your perspective back. Go forest bathe. Bathe in the forest, okay? Get some perspective. Yes, you don't always need the highest of this, the highest of that, the highest, the best phone, Louboutins, you don't need those types of things all the time, but it's a beautiful treat to have. And if you do have all those things all the time and it's really in your grasp, then take it to the next level. Like, why do you want them? Is it because you like them, or is it because somebody has told you that it creates status, which is what the King of Discs is saying. And so you're losing your spirit in those materialistic aspects. So just be very careful about that, and the idea of you have to have status. You are status, Libra. You are beautiful. You are smart. You can captivate anyone with your grace and beauty and your kindness. Libra, you are so kind. And that's what we're looking for. We could care less if you have a Prada wallet. All right, so let's call on the angels for some added guidance. Cut your cords. Okay. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Okay, I was reading that upside down. So sorry, it was a little choppy. Okay, Libra, there you go. You got some past issues, and like I was saying with career, it's affecting your career. Like, you might be your obsession might be work, and you're becoming a workaholic, and it's all so that you don't have to deal with the pain of a past relationship. Cut it out. It's time to really slice and dice that cord. Imagine it being a part of your body, and that person, it's just like a cord going into that part of the body. Imagine the color, imagine the texture, imagine the feeling of it. And then I want you to cut it. And then I want you to cut it again. And then every day, feel that part of your body that you are connected to with that person, and you cut it. And then you cut it again. And you keep doing that until you feel free of that attachment to the other person. Because energetically, we are connected with people, especially people that we have been intimate with or shared really intimate times and moments with. But just because we share that, and just because we are connected, does not mean energetically that we can keep feeding them and vice versa. You have to cut that cord and stand strong in your own in your own self and with your own roots. All right. If you like this reading, please like, share, or subscribe. And remember, if you want to get a reading, find me on Facebook, email me, or go to my website. Always listen to your heart and the body will follow. Until next time, much love, joy, and blessings.